Hello and welcome to Sue Findlay Designs. Today's video is another one from my archives that I created last year. This one's one of the bending resin dishes, and what I've done here is I've used a plastic white tray and I've placed it upside down because it's got a lip around the bottom. And I've covered it in cellophane, and I'm now adding the resin and just giving it a little mix up. Now I'm using this upside down tray because I want to contain the resin and I don't want it to flow too far, and it also means that the resin's quite a bit thicker than usual, because if you just leave it to flow it'll level out to its maximum depth. Now applying heat here, you need to be careful with the cellophane that you don't burn the plastic, because you could have issues removing the plastic afterwards if you put too much heat in there. So just be mindful of that when you're using heat on plastic. Also double check that your resin won't stick to this particular plastic, because I've had people say that their resin sticks to some plastic, so just make sure that you test your resin beforehand. And here I'm just applying some acrylic shapes. Now I've coated these in a touch of white resin beforehand so that they're not completely clear, but you can add these clear as is, but I've just, because of the design I was after, I've actually coated them in a touch of white resin. And as always, you'll find a list of the products used in the description below the video. You might also be interested to know that I'm in the process of creating some instruction manuals to complement all my videos, and I'm slowly going through those and adding them to my website, and I will put a link in the description below also for where you can find those manuals. And the idea behind it is to help you with your resin when you're working in your area, because you don't want to take your computer or iPad into your working area and run the risk of obviously getting resin on there. So the idea is I'll produce these inexpensive manuals that you can print out, laminate, and then if you get resin on them, it doesn't really matter, you're not ruining your computer or your iPad or whatever. So like I say, I'll leave a list in the description of where you can purchase these manuals. So what I've done here now is I've just got some small white stones that I'm putting in between the acrylic shapes. That's just to give a little bit of extra texture, and so that it just doesn't look all samey as well. So again, these have been coated in some white resin, and I'm just using the stick to apply these around the edge. So this has been left to cure for probably about 3 or 4 hours. The timing will change depending on the time of the year and the temperature of your room, but I generally start checking on it from about 2 or 3 hours, and then I'll go back and then just constantly checking that it's no longer sticky before moving. And obviously it's still quite flexible. But note, because I poured it onto the tray, the resin is a little bit thicker than usual, and it's a little bit more difficult to maneuver. It also cures a bit quicker, so you'll have to keep an eye on it from a lot earlier. And if, like me, you're struggling to get it into your dish or whatever, just use a little bit of heat to warm it up so that you can then apply a touch of pressure to get it into the shape that you desire. And then once you're happy with that, then leave that overnight to cure, and then come back the next day and remove the plastic. As you can see, these dishes are very easy to make. You don't need a lot of materials to make it, and they're ideal for beginners. So if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, or better still, subscribe to my channel. I have lots of other ideas to keep you inspired. So until the next video, bye for now.